All right, we are live and rocking.
Oh, Mr. Tommy Glad.
Mr. Hanks.
How are you?
God, busy. It's a big week. Got a huge week, but after what a splendid weekend it was yesterday.
Just
Sunday.
It was just incredible, wasn't it?
Right, soulful Sunday was very soulful for you.
It was just sharing just now with you. Right. That, we went to the farmers market yesterday. Actually, if you go to the LinkedIn page,
right,
and you join the Corporate Alchemist group,
right,
there's a post on there about the weekend,
right,
that I put on there. But in essence, Tommy, what I did, I went with my beautiful wife to the farmers market around about 9:30.
Very soulful.
We put down a picnic blanket. We didn't leave there till 5:30 last night. We slept, we ate, we laughed, we read books, we just had fun next to the water there, feeding the fish and watching the fish in the water.
Awesome.
And it was one of the most beautiful, soulful time outs I've taken for a long time with my beautiful woman.
Wow.
So very, very special.
Very relevant to the title that we have today. Yeah. There's like upside in the downtime.
Absolutely,
right?
like finding that downtime.
Right.
So it's finding that time out to replenish, to just chill, to be, rather than the go.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Chasing.
Oh, God, I know that feeling. Yeah, God, it's stuck in gear for how many decades?
Yeah, decades.
And even still today, it's like the dopamine fix. I still have to be aware of it and go, Tommy, breathe. Let's get a meditation in.
Let's get some super glue on the boots.
Right? Get some super glue on the boots and super glue on the brain, more like it, right?
Yeah.
But look, I mean, this is such a big thing, and from a physiological aspect as well. I mean, the adaptability, the changes, the growth, the good stuff happens in your body in the time when you're in recovery.
Absolutely.
And if you don't allow that recovery time, you're going to break something.
Yep.
Right? It's never able to recover. You're not going to build a new platform to then go again. It's the same with like triathlon training. You're building up, you're loading up, right? You're tapering off for a week. You're building up for 3 weeks. You're tapering off. And you do a nice big taper off. Just before you actually go and do the event, because you want to make sure that everything's been built up. You've been building these platforms all the way through. Sleep is another one.
Yep.
The downtime of sleep, getting sleep when you're looking at that three-legged stool of eating, moving, sleeping. Which one's the most important, Adrian?
Yeah, well, I love them all. I love my sleep.
I
love it. And Tommy, I love this because for you, when you do the measuring for the individual, there's a time to sleep.
Oh yeah.
For everybody,
depending
on their makeup, their epigenetics, their body shape, the way they live their life, their environment, and it's slightly different for everybody. And I know what I've done actually from this, and I want to thank you for it. Is my ideal sleep is about 7.5 hours.
Okay.
And I know if I go to bed around about 11, and I wake up at 6:30, I just feel so refreshed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to think going to bed earlier was the trick.
And
sleeping a bit longer, but I've realised, I love doing that too.
I
love those 12-hour sleeps whenever I get them. But what I've found is, because you challenged me to really look at my sleep patterns.
Yeah.
I force myself to stay up a little bit later if I'm tired.
Okay.
And then I wake up around about that 6:30 space. If I get up a bit earlier, 11 to 6, 7 hours, but somewhere around that 6 to 6:30 space.
Okay.
And it feels really great.
Look, I think, what I love there is that your consistency and you're waking up around that similar time.
Yeah. Usually about 6 rather than 6:30.
6:30. Okay.
So if I don't go to bed at 11, so I go to bed at 11:30 or 12 and still wake up, so I'm pulling back and losing a bit of that needed sleep.
I'd probably want to bring you earlier to bed. Well, not bring you to bed. We're not sleeping yet.
Oh, man, best offer I've had all day long.
There we go, next to your wife, right. Hi guys. I'd want you to be going to bed. Your bed, not mine. Whoops. Probably a bit earlier, actually, just knowing the fact that you're a Crusader health type, biohealth types. Like for me, it's about 9:15 to 10:15ish, around there.
Yeah. See, if I did that, I'd be either getting too much sleep, I reckon, because I probably wouldn't wake up till 6:30 if I'd gotten a deep sleep.
Right.
Or because I was a baker for so many years.
Right.
Getting up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh God.
And my body goes, no,
that's not doing you any good.
No, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I give myself a treat if I sleep
Right.
until 6 or 6:30,
Right.
psychologically.
Okay.
So it's
All right. Well, look, we've pulled it in a bit, and
Yeah,
you're waking up at a consistent time, and that's really important because your REM sleep will tend to happen in the latter part of the day, right? That dream sleep stuff, right?
That I like to do the lucid stuff. I'd love to come in and out of that.
Right. Well, I'd love to do a bit more myself. That's the area I've had to kind of hack.
Yeah.
But one of the tricks is that you've got to be consistent with that time, because it says, okay, he's going to be waking up about this time. Let's get the REM in now. And if you cut that short and surprise your body, it goes, oh, geez, he pulled we didn't know this was going to happen. And so if you're jumping around, it can't predict when to get that REM sleep. It's happening, well, most of it in that last third of your sleep, and then deep super important too. But that's when the body is cleaning up, but it's growing, it's adapting, it's learning. A lot of those learnings happen in the non-REM sleep, not the deep sleep, but in between deep and REM, you've got the consolidating of the memories and the learnings happening there, of the new. And so, I hope you better try again. And so, where were we? And then you want to be processing emotional, sort of like a lot of mental and emotional processing, right, of stuff that's been hanging with you that you want to process it and get it out, close it out, those loose sort of connections, right, emotionally, in your dream sleep, right, in the REM sleep, right, and the cleanup and detox and all that, that's happening in the first half of the night. You want to make sure you're getting it, and percentage-wise, it's about 25 to 30% on the deep, 20 to 25% of your sleep will be your REM, right? But that's when key stuff happens. So the cleanup and the new platform is building. If you don't allow that stillness of that nocturnal activity to happen, right? Because from a spiritual sense, when we do this later in the week, you're going to be talking about stillness, right?
I'm going to talk about sleep big time
as well.
About what happens in that space from a spiritual perspective.
Is that right? So, I mean, that just stacks it again. How important sleep is. It's also connected to chronic disease. If you're not getting good enough sleep specific to you, you're talking about yourself, right? And how you're shifting it to go more into what your circadian rhythm for your body. And yes, we can do it by measuring you through anthropometry, right? To work out from that, we get to reverse engineer what your genes probably are with about 80-85% accuracy. That, with all the 20 years of data that's been collected, is then able to go, you fit here. This is when you, from a chronological, circadian rhythm point of view, should be going to sleep, should be waking up, and get consistent at it. So,
and it's good to measure. I've been doing that myself, and really being aware of that, and not going to bed too late, not too early.
Okay.
And realizing, when I'm in that, and if I do that for 3 or 4 nights consistently,
perfect.
Then I go, wow, I feel like I'm refreshed.
Perfect. And then that's actually what happens, because what happens otherwise is you start to build up sleep debt. Right? And you kind of
credit.
Or credit.
And that's what I was doing. I was
Too much credit.
I was doing
waking up also like
I was doing 9, 10, 11, 12 hours sleep.
Too much.
And I was enjoying it.
Right.
Because the idea in my head was, I need to catch up on my sleep.
Right.
Which is not actually a true.
No.
It's not a truth.
You just need to get into the right slot. Get consistent with it, and then it'll pay off that debt. Right. But you can't go, I'll just leave a whole stack extra over the next few nights. There is some research that's been done where you can play a bit of catch up, let's say, on the weekend if you've had a bad week.
Like I'll just do 4 hours sleep all through the week and exhaust myself.
Right.
Then I'll do 14. I'm being,
right.
Not me, but I'm giving a story.
Really?
No. Right. And then on a Sunday, you sleep 14 hours and go, well, I've called it up. I must be okay.
No.
See, it doesn't happen that way.
It does not happen that way, right? There's a little bit of latitude. And over a few days, say, hey, look, you need to get back on it a bit. But I wouldn't be depending on that. So then, even we've talked about physiologically, how you load up, and then you've got this oscillation effect to build higher and higher and higher on a platform of fitness, and the same will work for the workplace.
I was going to bring it up. How do we enhance that, Tommy, in the workplace?
Yep.
How do we get that rhythm so there is some downtime, there is some rest time, there's some stillness
right.
in that space? What are some of the key things people can do?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's guilt, isn't it? Like, I've got to get my KPIs, I've got to work, I've got to go. Because the rest of the team are doing it.
Yeah.
I can't let the team down. I've got to keep
all the boss is watching me. Breathing down my neck. So look like you're working.
So what are some strategies around that? And maybe it's about educating.
Right. Well, I'd say the first thing is get a COVID pandemic and do it and work from home. So I can't see you. That's one way. The cameras will be there, right? George Orwell, 1984, 2084.
2084. Read that one.
His book, AdrianHanks.com. But you can get some really good performance. And some studies we're doing now, we've done a bit of testing and we're doing more. I'm working with an organisation around a band that you can wear around your head, and it's measuring the brain
frequency. Like tennis players.
Like Pat Cash had. Remember the checkerboard one he used to have? Yeah, it was so 80s. But you can, performance-wise, you're best going for about 25 minutes, and there's research on this. I can't remember the name of the guy. 25 minutes with a 5 minutes break, just like let go of the screen, get up, walk around. Now, that's helping you physiologically to get the blood flow because, they're saying that sitting down is becoming the new smoking, right? We know where that ended up, right? But also taking your attention away from that tunnel and pulling yourself away from being on the crack of, and I know.
On the go.
Oh, God. And today I thought, Tommy, and I can feel my body being in sympathetic mode, being in that fight or flight mode, sort of go, and I'm getting off on the adrenaline, right? And going, okay, start to get some breathing happening, start to slow it down to get to more of a parasympathetic mode, or a balance between the two, because that is correlated with you also being so we go from heart rate variability, which measures this and where you are on that scale, to brain frequency variability. Because if you're constantly in that beta activities, like transactional fast, it's exhausting.
Adrenal fatigue.
It's adrenal fatigue that will build up, and then we start to correlate that to chronic disease as well, right?
Coronary disease.
Coronary disease as well as chronic, right? Literally, because you have what they call the, half the heart attacks that happen are through the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary, right? Axis they call it, adrenal axis. And when you've got those things cranked, and you've got too much cortisol going in, it's thrashing through your veins, scarring.
Clogged blood as well.
And then if you're not drinking enough water, you're definitely going to have clogged blood as well, right?
I always say it's like having porridge instead of blood, doesn't it?
Right,
It slows everything down and gets sticky. And
it does. So then you need nitric oxide, not nitrous oxide, with the car, racing sort of stuff, but nitric oxide, which you'll get. The biggest source of that is arugula. It's really good. You can also get it from a company. I get it in a little bottle. And it's all natural ingredients, right? So I'll have that, and that makes your arteries dilate. They use it for working out for it, so you can get a really big workout, a lot more oxygen going through. And it puts a nice Teflon-y type coating over
the arteries. Teflon, though, mate.
Right? Don't use Teflon. Bad analogy, but slippery.
Don't. Right? By the way, go in the kitchen if you got Teflon.
Just watch DuPont, the documentary that was on recently, right? Black water or grey water or something. So that's what you can do. So getting up, moving around, get some nitric oxide, get some arugula, right? It's one to have. Google it, nitric oxide, and what vegetables, you can eat to really increase that. But the downtime will get you increased performance, and so you're going to move from that beta frequency. You can do this with this headband. I'm working with this company now, and we're looking to represent them in building some partnerships, and we're working on a group flow program, so that you can actually see everybody in the app whether they are in flow. It has them sitting around a desk and the left and right brain, and it shows when it's green, and you can see the percentage of flow that each individual is in, sitting around the desk,
right?
And the table that can be virtually.
Wouldn't that be amazing in the office space? Because you can go, who's the bad egg in here?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. What are you freaking out about?
You know,
It's like being in a meeting with your pants down, right? Some may want to do that.
Yeah, get in the flow.
HR violation, right?
Get in the flow.
You will be able to see every person and what percentage of flow they're in.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, we've moved more to that aquarium age of love, not to beat the shit out of someone for, hey, what numbskull?
Well, the question,
if they're already in sympathetic mode, now you're going to make it worse by calling them out.
So the question would be, wouldn't it, a bit like the old bicycle story, what ails you, brother?
Hey,
are you okay? Are you okay?
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, you're not in flow right now.
Right.
Do you need to go for a walk for 10 minutes? Do you need
Yeah.
some yoga?
Right.
Do you need to
exactly take your breaths?
What do you need?
Maybe we should reset the meeting.
What do you
just not
need?
right here. What do you need?
Yeah.
Right. That is gonna. The company can get that in their culture happening is gonna crush it with their attention.
Coming back, Tommy. We're coming back.
I think we're coming back. I think we're done.
No, it's still ticking away.
It's ticking away.
I think you might.
I don't think you can see us though.
Yeah.
Damn.
In the blackness.
So this is going to be a real abrupt end to this one.
Well, the camera is happening. So
Is
maybe we just need to get the camera happening.
Okay, what time are we? Yep, 6 minutes early. Okay, live.
We are live.
Pressing all sorts of buttons here, guys.
We're just trying to get some
colour. All right, I think we can. Okay, well, I think we're going to leave it there.
We might just go.
There's a rough end, right? We took the rough end of the cliff. It's live. It's raw shit that happens, right? But guys, if they want to catch up with you,
AdrianHanks.com.
AdrianHanks.com. Let's connect at TonyGallant.com or the Corporate Alchemist Project page
on LinkedIn.
This is where Cap TV is, so that's where you see what it's recording.
Absolutely.
As well as everywhere else. We've set it up on StreamYard.
And come and join the group if you want to as well.
The Corporate Alchemist Project group. And we're about to meet with somebody that may be the person that does our recordings for the 12-part
video
series, right? Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to be recording that within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, we are too.
Man.
All right.
All right, guys.
I can't see us.
Okay. Yeah. Put your clothes on, Adrian. Okay. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.